listen to Joystick, Neo Geo, Neo Geo.
Retro Legends Arcade. Retro Legends Arcade. Clank, clank, clank. The machines never fade. Neon lights buzz in the haze. Joystick dreams in pixel mazes. Fingers dance, electric craze. You win, you lose, the screen displays. Retro Legends Arcade, where heroes are made. Insert your coin, don't be afraid. Retro Legends Arcade. Pinball clatters, jackpot rings, 8-bit world where power springs. Twitches hum, the chaos sings, forever young on timeless wings. Press start to play. The night won't decay. Retro Legends Arcade, where heroes are made. Insert your coin, don't be afraid. Retro Legends Arcade. Retro Legends Arcade. Retro Legends Arcade.
Hello and welcome to the Retro Legends Arcade. We've got an awesome show lined up for you tonight. The great guest, welcome to the show, Johnny Joystick. What's happening, buddy?
Hey,
how you doing,
how's it
man?
going?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good
The
to see
man,
you.
the myth, the legend.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
We're so excited to have you on the channel. I've been following your channel for a while. I love your content. You've been putting in the work. What is that? 230 videos, 1,200 subscribers.
Yeah.
And just always a great channel to go to for some Neo Geo fun, some news. I'm a fan of the Neo Geo, and I've been enjoying your content. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, thanks.
So welcome to the Retro Legend Arcade.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be here. This is awesome.
Mm-hmm. And of course, this show is not only a show, it's also you can compete on online leaderboards. And so every week we play games and we do different games each week. Right now, Johnny, what we're doing is we're working our way through every Neo Geo game. So if any games become available, we're going to know all about them. We're going to have played them in person. So we're gradually going through the library of Neo Geo games. But here you can see some of the games we've played. Maybe you see some favorites.
I see a little Bubbles just scroll by. That's
Bubbles, Burger Time. We got Crazy Climber. It's going to be our second attempt. Last time Rexer took me out at the last minute. He got a great score. We'll see if he can beat me again this week. But Defender, Donkey Kong. I mean, they're all in here. And these are free open iScored leaderboards. You can click on any link in my description and you can drop scores on our online leaderboards. And speaking of leaderboards,
that with the QR codes as well, the
QR codes are for each individual game. But once you're in the leaderboards, there's nothing to it. You just play the game. You take a picture with your phone after you play. It's very easy. And let me go to the iScored real quick.
This is a question I've had about this. Is it like the games are always open once they're on there, or
Yeah, unless it's
like a week at a time kind of.
If I did a tournament with prizes, I lock it down like our pinball tournaments. We've done two like full scale pinball tournaments. We did Elvira and the Party Monsters and Attack from Mars. Now I did lock those down because that was a tournament, but everything else is just up there for fun. So if you want to drop a score on the leaderboards,
oh, nice.
It's a good way to keep track of how you're doing too. Like, you know, even just like if you want to see if you get better from year to year, it's an easy way to put your score on here. Most of the arcade games are on there. Pretty much all the pinball tables are on there. This past week, we did the pinball show last night. So if you missed it, we did the pinball show last night. We're going to talk about the arcade games we played this past week. In Robo Army, we had T. McCloskey taking the win. That's a Neo Geo beat 'em up. We had Rich Mix in second, me in third, Crane Live on YouTube, fourth. We played the Neo Geo Shmup, Ghost Pilots. These are both early Neo Geo games. Have you ever played either of these?
Robo Army, absolutely.
Yeah.
Love that. It's probably my favorite beat 'em up.
Yeah, it's a fun beat 'em up.
But I have not played Ghost Pilots yet.
Yeah, Ghost Pilots is a shmup. It was all right. I mean, I like some of the other ones we've played a bit more. But we had T. McCloskey, Potion Sword Run. I came in third. We had Leo DS and Crane Live on YouTube took the win on that game. And we played the classic arcade game Berserk. You're probably familiar with Berserk, huh?
Yeah.
That's a very old school. Like that's my that's an 80s arcade, the classic arcade game. We had Leo DS, T. McCloskey, Crane Live on YouTube. Moto Linux, Sacro, who's kind of a legend in the pinball scene, and I actually ended up winning that one, surprisingly. But if you notice, look at this. There's only 10 points between me and Sacro.
Those are darn good scores, man.
I mean, that's insane. Only 10 points. I mean, you have to be swearing. That's like probably one robot away from beating me.
So hard to get up to 9,000 at that.
Yeah,
like,
I do have a strategy video.
Not mess around.
Yeah, I have a strategy video. There's definitely a strategy I use where I stay out of the diagonals of the robots, and I use all the walls to kind of block their shots.
Yeah.
But there definitely it's a high strategy. Once you really get into it, it's a pretty high strategy, and it's a little bit of luck because the robots spawn randomly. So you really can't control that. Then, of course, we play pinball every week. We did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Strike Deluxe, Tropical. And here are the scores on those. We talked about those last night, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But we got a lot to cover. So I just wanted to make sure the arcade end of our leaderboards was covered. So I'm going to take that off the screen. And now I'm ready to talk about some Neo Geo news. You ready to talk about some Neo Geo with me? We had a big week.
I am ready. We had
a big week.
Big week.
Let me add this to the stage, man. I'm prepared. Let me check in with the chat first. So I got to be polite. I got to say hello to everyone. If you're catching us live, we appreciate that. A lot of people watching the replay, and that's perfectly fine. We got More Complete. Woo! Welcome to the show. We got Joystick Johnny. Hey, Joystick Johnny. Good to see you.
Wow.
We got, how do I say this, Joystick Johnny?
Raisin Ice Bear?
Raisin Ice Bear. Okay, thank you. We got Bliss2121. We got Old School Gamer 86. Welcome to the show.
Old School Gamer 86. Good to see you.
Awesome. Good to see you. We got Andrew Kind. Good to see you. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
And we're going to get started with the news for the week. It was so much, I just decided to make a slideshow because I didn't want to miss anything. But were you surprised with all the news that came out this week? The chipset developer?
I was a little bit. It was nice to get confirmation on a lot of stuff. But I was not expecting them to be kind of so open. Like anytime we see news like that is kind of surprising. Almost like everybody keeping things hidden.
I almost like it better because I feel like we got the people that actually designed the product, the engineers, the people that were kind of behind the scenes. And you know what I was so shocked by? They've been working on it for so long. They just kept it completely secret.
No leaks. the
no leaks
entire
at all.
time. Like
It's
that was incredible to me.
The opposite of the cardboard arcade community. It's like there was no leaks. It was professionally done. They had the leading experts in the world design the product.
Well, I mean, come on, you can just say like Pac-Man or Mortal Kombat, you got a 50-50 shot there.
Yeah.
I mean, not too much of this.
So Neo Geo AES Plus Retro Legends Arcade news update, okay? And I just have bullet points. We can talk about each one. PlayOn has officially confirmed details about the new Neo Geo AES Plus through their website and official distributors, validating information previously revealed in an interview with the chipmaker. I did a stream, I think it was on Sunday or Saturday, where I showed that review, that video. But PlayOn notes a change in product philosophy. The description for the Neo Geo AES Plus has evolved from faithful recreation of the Neo Geo AES to the authentic recreation of the original hardware, emphasizing the original SNK documentation and a premium experience. So they're changing all the wording on their website. Did you notice that?
I did. I'm like, okay, this is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the stream, Biggie D.
Hey, Biggie D.
It says, PlayOn confirms the internal hardware will feature a dedicated ASIC chip, replicating the original hardware and ensuring full compatibility. They're saying full compatibility with the AES cartridges and significant upgrade from the previous generic dedicated hardware. So they're getting more specific, talking about the ASIC chip.
Yeah, it's been nice to get more news about that. Hey, thanks, Biggie D. More news about the ASIC chip coming out and kind of the process that went into creating that. Because that was something people were kind of skeptical about at the start.
Is it going to be an actual recreation? Can they pull off a complete recreation, exact recreation of the Neo Geo? And it sounds like, everything that I've heard is like from the hardware side, I'm feeling pretty confident after seeing Joe Tego. And, he's looking at those wiring diagrams like, I would read a comic book. He's looking at that like, I mean, it looks like rocket science, right? We had some big news with the video output because the original Neo Geo, I think it was mono or something. And they said the video output details updated from HDMI only to HDMI 1080p output and composite audio video output, confirming native analog output capabilities for the Neo Geo AES Plus. Would you want to say, Johnny?
Yeah, that was what Bruno was saying about the audio was like in the original hardware, it was just in mono. And then they're like, oh no, this is too good to just leave the mono sound. So they're using basically, I think, like the same component that the Model 2 Sega Genesis used to give stereo output on it. So and apparently like that was actually, it was cheaper to go with something that would provide stereo sound.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome, Plus they realize that a lot of us are going to be hooking these up. I mean, I just got a 13-inch CRT. I just got another CRT, and I'm definitely going CRT with one of the. I'm so crazy, Johnny. I ordered two of them. So I had to have the white one. I got the ultimate bundle, and I had to have that that special edition white one too.
I'll
kind of lost my mind, I think.
I like to, as I like to say, we've gone SNK crazy.
Yes, and crazy.
SNK crazy. Yeah. I've been thinking about ordering a second one just so I can leave one plugged into my TV and then have another one set up for streaming and like actually like recording content and stuff. But I'm holding off on that. I'm like, let's try to be somewhat responsible here.
Yeah. So, official confirmation has been given for the inclusion of dip switches on the AES Plus for language selection, overclocking. The language selection is a big deal because it changes some of the features in the games. Is that right, Johnny?
Yeah. So, like the Japanese versions had less censorship than like the North American version. So, like Metal Slug, it's actual blood, whereas over here, Yeah, it's white, and I think there was also differences in some, like between just MVS and AES versions,
Uh-huh.
where things got toned down a little bit for home
Uh-huh.
as
Yeah.
well. But
We
now we'll
want
be
that.
able
We
to
want that
switch all
blood,
that
Johnny.
up.
We need that blood.
The cool thing about it though is like, okay, if AES, you got like your 4 credits or whatever they give you to get through the game to like get good at it and everything. But this has a mode where you can switch it to MVS, so you can quarter feed and you can like practice in there. And
Yeah.
then switch to AES when you're ready to take care of business.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I mean,
like especially like these games are not the easiest things in the world.
no,
So
no. And I like
it,
that you can put it on the console version. That forces you to get good, right? But if you're
Yeah.
just having your buddy over and you want to blast through Metal Slug or something, you don't have. It'd be good to have it where it can be that arcade mode too.
exactly.
So what I love is
that's really cool.
they're giving us all the choices, right? They're letting us decide that for ourselves. And this is information from their website now, stuff they've added. So there will be a switch for overclocking. There will be a switch for screen modes, which is will switch between different aspect ratios, like 16:9 and 4:3. I mean, I'm pretty much a purist. I'll probably leave it at 4:3.
Yeah,
That's
just
kind of
leave it
I
at
almost
the
never,
original.
I almost never stretch a game if I can help it.
Yeah.
But some people, they want that option, which is fine. But that would be something I probably wouldn't do. Okay. More news with our. So much news this week. Compatibility information expanded from compatible with AES cartridges to compatible with original cartridges, official re-editions, and faithful reading of the AES bus, confirming broad cartridge support. So they're basically saying now on their official information that it has cartridge support, which was an update.
But that's interesting choice of language that how it could relate to like the flash cards and stuff.
Yeah, it is interesting. Let's see. There was also some other messages, one on their website, one about the high customer demand processing inquiries, another addressing temporary tax issue in some U.S. states, promising that full reservations for the AES Plus will open soon in those areas. Have you heard any update on that?
That's been there for 2 months.
Okay. Well,
nothing.
Fresh eyes.
I've been following that closely because I'm
Okay.
in there's like
The
17
affected state.
states. The 17 states can't order through PlayOn's website, and of course that's the only place to get the Ultimate Bundle. And I'm in one of those states, so it's it's kind of close to my heart. I managed to get one though because the workaround.
I saw your video. You said you were gonna go ahead. You tell them how you got it. It's interesting.
Yeah, I'm shipping it to my family in a state that wasn't affected. So even though I'm in a state that's affected, my folks aren't. So it will let me when I pick shipping, I just put their address in and it would work. So I'm like, okay, well I'm doing this. I order it and then I give my mom a call and I'm like, hey mom, just so you're not taken off guard, and about 9 months a little bundle of joy is going to be showing up. And she was not
she probably didn't think the bundle of joy was a brand new Neo Geo AES Plus. What? Probably thought something else, huh?
Yeah. But I did find, hey, thanks Games Hero, good to see you. Yeah,
Gamesboro says thank you for doing all the research on what states were impacted by this, figuring out how spread out the problem was. That was great research.
Thank you, really appreciate it. And yeah, it's something I'm really surprised that there wasn't more about. Again, like even if you are in those states, you can still pre-order from Amazon, but you can't get the Ultimate Bundle, and that was that's huge savings there. Now I've been waiting. I've been messaging them. I've been emailing them, and I've never get anything back. I check their site every day. hoping to see a change. Nothing, but going through their Facebook, I did find a buried in the comment replies from 2 weeks ago. They actually replied to somebody and said they haven't received any updates, but they know they are working on it. So and then this was the thing that kind of made me a little less hopeful about the resolution than I have been. So I don't want to like blackpill anybody, but they did say, they also confirmed that the Ultimate Edition is indeed a limited run.
They confirmed it was a limited run.
Yeah.
By the way, let me give a quick shout out to Gamesboro here. He's been on the channel once. This will never go away. Here's his official shout out to Gamesboro. That guy's fire. If you checked out his channel, he's got a good channel. I love Gamesboro.
Got good stuff. I subscribe.
Yeah. I love this new community. There's a whole new community of people that are talking about Neo Geo. I think it's super exciting. And he was a guest on the show a couple weeks back, but I was glad to have him on the show. We got Devastator Omega making his presence known with that beautiful wrench, holding that wrench now. So welcome back to the channel. So let me go back to the slides real quick. We're going pretty good. We're getting through them pretty quick. So PlayOn's commitment to quality, noting all their retro console recreations, including the upcoming Neo Geo AE Plus, use high-quality plastics, excellent finishes, and faithfully replicate the original details. Even going to great lengths to source specific materials like the rubber membranes for the Spectrum. I know I have the Atari consoles from them, and I've been very impressed with how they did those. I have the 2600 Plus and the 7800 Plus. And I know that this is something they're good at.
I haven't used any of those myself, but I know people that have them. I've not heard a bad thing about either mainly the 2600 Plus.
I love it as an Atari collector. It's just an easy way to connect your old Atari cartridges to an HDMI television set. It looks beautiful. It plays good. Wireless. Look at this. Who would ever think? It's the wireless Atari joystick. I mean, how long did it take? I've been waiting my whole retro life for this wireless Atari joystick. I finally have it, and it works great. It's Bluetooth. But they know what they're doing. So I think we're in really good hands.
That was the thing that actually made me okay, this isn't like a fly-by-night thing. These are the folks that did the 2600 Plus. So
they have the experience.
Now I feel comfortable that they deliver.
We got some information from Old School Gamer. He got this on June 11th. He says, please be rest assured that we are working to resolve this as quickly as possible. So,
well, at least they replied to you.
So that was our news. Is there any other news that you want to add on to that, Johnny Joystick?
Well, I don't know about news. I mean, I might have to put my tinfoil hat on here.
Okay, let's put the tinfoil hat on. Put that tinfoil hat on. Let's do a little speculation. So, what else do you have to say?
Well, I mean the whole okay, well, we're working on this, but the Ultimate is limited. That made me nervous, and it really sounds like the person or people, whatever, doing their social media has absolutely no connection to the people working on the taxi. So it really sounded like the left hand has no idea what the right hand is doing, kind of thing. But the whole thing has made me wonder how much is production issues with the demand being so high.
The demand is way higher. I mean, they sold more than they ever dreamed of selling.
Yeah, it was everything that they had on an annual basis, in paid pre-orders. So that's just through their site to begin with.
Speaking of which, I heard, now this is a rumor now. This is still a rumor. We won't know for sure until PlayOn says something. But I heard they're planning 3 runs of 10 cartridges each. So there is plans, from what I heard in the video I watched today, from someone that I believe was a software developer. Did you watch that video?
I did not. I saw somebody X posting something similar though. So kind of unsourced, but I mean, that makes sense. I mean, like, and you could probably speak a little more experience to this with like the 2600, 7800 plus releases, how they've done that, because I think there's been a couple waves.
Yeah, they do, and the thing is, they do run out of carts, and then like they're not saying they're completely abandoning them, but then you have to wait and see if they'll do them again. You know, that's how Atari's been, at least. But let me finish reading this from Old School Gamer since he's posting it. This is from PlayOn. Full pre-order options for all customers in USA and Canada will be available again shortly. No products will be sold out during this phase. We expect the issue to be resolved very soon.
Oh, that's positive.
Once your state is open for ordering again, you'll receive a separate email informing you that pre-orders are available again. There was the message. By the way, shout out to Moto Lennox with a 5 Papa Brad's gaming memberships. Thank you so much, Moto Lennox. Man, that is huge support. Thank you so much. You shout out to Moto Lennox. Go check out his channel right here on YouTube.
That's an awesome intro.
Yeah, I love his channel, you know, and he's kind of just starting off, but he's already at 100 subscribers. I mean, I remember that milestone. Nice. I just got my 5-year. No, they said I've been on YouTube for 5 years. YouTube sent me a thing, and I also just got 2 million views. Can you believe that? 2 million views. I would have never thought some you know, arcade fan from the swamps would be getting 2 million views on YouTube. But anyway, thank you, Moto Lennox. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gamesboro. So where we're going to go next. Okay, so let me remove that off the stage. Let me clear up some memory real quick here. I'm pushing the StreamYards. So the next thing we're going to do is there was we're going to do a reaction stream to a video, okay? And we'll be able to stop it and talk over it, okay?
All right.
Let me save this real quick. Here we go. Oh, ticker tape. Oh, wait a minute. What are you doing? Stop that. Save. Okay, so here's all the topics we're doing tonight, okay? I'm having problems operating this. 1 second. What happened to my... Okay, great week of competition. This is episode 71 of the Retro Legends Arcade. Okay, so our topics so far, we talked about the leaderboards for free for fun for the community. We welcomed Johnny Joystick to the show for episode 71. We talked about the Neo Geo news this past week with a PowerPoint. Now we're going to talk about the truth about making Neo Geo games, what nobody tells you. And this is a reaction video. And let's check this out. This is going to be fun. So here we go. Let me add this to the stage. Got to switch it first. Share this tab instead. Yeah, let's go full screen. Play. Tivo and Hapon. Check out his channel and make sure you subscribe. He's doing some great content. So let's react to this video.
And in Neo Geo, there is no development platform like there is in Mega Drive. There is no development kit that gives you tools for everything. We can't manufacture a cartridge for Euros ATI Dash. For us, it is completely unfeasible. I told you in Retro Barcelona that the development cost of Vengus Hunters was around euro 200,000 euros. Okay, that's approximately 100,000 euros. You don't know how it's going to end up. You keep putting money in and putting money in. There comes a day when you have the game almost ready, you open sales, and you don't know what's going to happen. You see that the first sales are few, Of course, who knows you? Nobody knows your product. There are 4 main flash manufacturers. So you go to the manufacturer and say, hey, can you give me a special price? This works with all the parts like this in the chip industry. Let's go to the issue of the Mirror Plus. I haven't seen the project yet, but they said that that they had made 2 ACS in the console. The advantage of making an AC is that an FPGA runs at 3.3 volts. If you make an ACIC, you can do it at 5 volts. You save all that electronics. You save those level converters.
Would it be possible for Neo Geo AES Plus to release a Bene Hunters Plus edition, new games for the console?
Anything is possible, David.
Anything is possible. So, right there, we had a lot of information. What do you think about that?
I think it would be pretty cool to start seeing like an official kind of pipeline for small devs to be able to get their games out. Like Vengeance Hunters is one I want to check that out. I'm gonna check it out on Steam. I think
it's like $20 on Steam. He's going to talk about Steam and how like they were kind of hoping Steam would be more help out the project more. But one thing you see when watching this is that they're really are not going to be able to independently sell these cartridges for $90. It's just an impossibility. The raw cost of making the flashing and the hardware of it is impossible, much less developing an entire game. Right?
and it's not like it's a niche market too. So
it's a niche market.
Like they're doing like super high quantities. Like a lot of these games have like 200 max cartridges available for it, and that's
the thing is the Neo Geo right now is a very small community. Like the one thing that could happen is that with the AES Plus, the size of the community could really increase, and that would make a big difference, right?
Well, I'm not sure if it would just necessarily be the size, because like unless SNK or Play On, whoever's responsible, provides them like a path in where they can get those manufacturing costs down, right? Like the production costs down. Because if they still have to do it the way they're doing it, well, now they can produce a larger quantity, which might bring the price down a little bit overall, but again, it raises the cost of production. So
well, one thing that Atari has done is they've worked with a lot of homebrew. Like some of the cartridge releases we got for the Atari 2600 Plus were actually popular homebrew titles. So it would be good if that was available for the Neo Geo Plus.
Yeah, I would love to see that happen.
And these giant projects like this, they've already invested the money. This could possibly a way for them to recoup some of their costs too. We're going to find out that they mostly worked for free to develop this game out of the love for making a Neo Geo game. But you're seeing the difficulties just from the hardware size of making the physical cartridges, the gigantic. And by the way, I mean, who would not want to have that red? When I saw that red cartridge, I was drooling, I mean, that looks amazing. Didn't that, the packaging and the color of the cartridge? I mean, who would not want to have that, right?
I'm seeing GamesBro there in the chat saying if there was a path in, cheaper cards for the indie devs, getting more devs to go to the platform. I absolutely agree with that. I'd love to see that. Like, let's get the thing out and get them developing. Kits.
This is not a huge jump to do it for the AES Plus. By the way, I want to shout out this creator's awesome. I've been following him. I am a subscriber. This is Creativo en Japón. I'm trying to say it right. Potion Sword's been teaching me. So, am I saying it right, Johnny? What do you think?
As far as I know.
Creativo en Japón. in Japan. Apparently they don't say the J. I don't know, but who knows? But this is a great video. Let's continue watching it. And let me go back. Oh, wait a minute. When I have an echo. Hold on. What just happened? There it is. Okay.
Someone told us recently that they think there will be cancellations once they see that there will be a product for everyone. And this is something that they have told us from Spain, stores.
In fact, there have already been cancellations.
Yes, they told us yesterday that the scenarios the cast member is that people start canceling orders because there is stock for everyone and there is no possibility of reselling them in Wallapop.
So there's a lot of people that in Spain apparently are buying like multiple copies of the games to try to resell them. Scalpers, right?
Yeah.
Today we met with Alex Romero, CEO of Terragonio Ninalua Studio, who talked to us about the Neo Geo AES game business, manufacturing costs, component speculation, the only future of AES Plus. A very interesting interview.
Good morning.
Good morning, David.
Happy. Very good. Delighted to be here with you. Let's see if we can clear up some doubts because you are dedicated to the world of Neo Geo, to making Neo Geo cartridges.
Well, among other things, yeah. I produce games for Neo Geo and I make cartridges.
Is it profitable to make Neo Geo games today?
It's not profitable. That's my explanation. Look, when we started making the first game, Penguin Hunters, I thought, okay, right at the time, NG's team had publicly announced that they were stopping making NGO games. And I didn't understand why, because you saw that whenever they released print runs, the prices of the games were abysmal, they were brutal, and then suddenly from one day to the next, they stopped producing games. I was a little suspicious because I thought, what's happened here? Once I produced the first game, which was Vengeance Hunters, I saw what had happened. You saw that there were a lot of games on the market, home RW games, DNG, DP, team. I don't consider the later ones to be home RW. They're already quality productions, but there are a lot of games that have sold for Euro 50, Euro 400, Euro 400. Everyone was asking the same for Game Go, for 50, Euro 400. So of course you said, well, there has to be a market. You start producing the game, developing it, and you see first that you can finish it in a year, that you need a lot of time. So of course you start to bring people into the team. You have to come up with the concept. You have to make backgrounds. You have to make music, sound effects, programming. In Neo Geo, there is no development platform like there is in Mega Drive. There is no development kit that gives you tools for everything. When we started making Vegas Hunters a little over 4 years ago, there was only the NG kit or something like that, right? And that development kit was not complete or functional. Small things work, but not everything. We had to take that and start making tools to build a game on top of it. We reached a point where the game started to grow too much and it no longer supported the NGP kit. In other words, they couldn't create ROMs larger than a certain size. So of course, we had to tweak the NG kit code a lot to make it work, to be able to add more images and so on. As time goes by, you see that, of course, each month of development costs increase, so you don't know how it's going to end up. You keep putting money in and putting money in. There comes a day when you have the game almost ready. You open sales and you don't know what's going to happen, and you see that the first sales are few. Of course, who knows you? Nobody knows your products, and I think they're also a little tired of paying euros for a game that in the end is a Tetris or something like that. Yes. That was a big fear. It took us a long time just to recoup the investment from Neo Geo. A year or so between the time we were in pre-sales. The day we launched the game on the market, when the Neo Geo copies began, we shipped the cost of developing the game had not been recovered. I'm not even talking about the production cost of the cartridges. That's another story that we'll talk about now.
So anyway, he's telling you right here that it was not profitable.
Yeah, it's got to be just a labor of love.
I mean, it's an incredible uphill struggle for these indie devs that made Neo Geo cards because of the cost. You're going to find out the cost of the producing the cartridges, but also developing on the Neo Geo is challenging because you have the limitations of the hardware, right? You have to stay in, but it has to run on a real Neo Geo.
And did I hear him right saying that they had to actually develop the tools to develop the game themselves?
Yes, they had to develop the tools themselves, they were saying.
Wow.
They had to develop the tools because there's not a dev kit, apparently, from what he's saying. Welcome to the stream, Battle Post Media, 2988.
Hey, welcome, Battle Post.
True indie carts would be great, but don't forget SNK is fully backing this. They already are actively bringing on new developers, have talent lined up for brand new games and sequels. We're in good hands, and I feel like we are in good hands from what I've seen so far.
I think so.
I have really a very positive feeling about this, Battle Post Media says he pre-ordered the 35th anniversary edition, and I'm working on it. Japan, Creativo and Japan. Okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting closer each time, but he is really getting the scoops. So congratulations to him and his great channel. I would recommend getting an AES Plus. It's not a lot to invest. I would probably get the Metal Slug version. I think that's a pretty good package to get because you get the game and you get the white console,
And the wireless wireless stick with it.
And a
too.
memory
And
card.
I think it comes. Yeah, it comes with a memory
Because
card.
the memory card, you pretty much get the whole setup, so you're jumping in with everything you need to get started. It's pretty
The
exciting.
only downside to that one is
Mm-hmm.
like me, as somebody that I've always wanted the AES.
The classic
It's
black,
like,
the black and gold.
I've got to have the classic black. But
I know.
if I did go with like
Mm-hmm.
one for TV, one like setup for like recording and streaming, then
Yeah.
I'd probably get the anniversary edition because at that point, why not? I need to differentiate between the two somehow. And whatever.
If you order one,
pathology
Biggie
is
D,
making me do
Biggie
it.
D, use my link if you order one. Use my link if you order one, please. I have an Amazon link in the description. Old school gamer doesn't like the white. Yeah, either you love it or you don't. I think it's pretty cool. I just want that white cart because if I'm collecting carts, I want to have that white cart.
Yeah,
that's the only way you get the white Metal Slug cart. They're not offering just the white cartridge by itself.
I think the memory card is a white one too, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, to get those accessories in that card, that white Metal Slug. I don't know. To me, Metal Slug is just. I don't know. I just have always loved those run and gun games on the Neo Geo. That's always been something I've always gravitated. You see, I have Metal Slug 3 on right beside me right now, but something I've always gravitated to. It's just such the pixel art is
It's
just
some of the best pixel art ever done.
beautiful,
Right?
beautiful. I mean, if you love games, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's just it's on a whole different level. For 2D artwork, the Metal Slug series has always been a favorite of mine.
Absolutely.
But Battle Post Media has a good point. You can always come back for the classic black one. That one's going to be always produced. But the white ones, they're saying it's not a limited edition, but I don't know. I mean,
well, I mean, and this is the other thing. Like, how are we defining limited edition here?
Yeah.
So like okay, with the Ultimate Bundle, they said like that's limited, where there's only going to be X amount of units. Then okay, these are like kind of a numbered thing. But if like with the anniversary edition, it's like this is just regular production, just in white. But maybe they keep it around, but like it's only like the badge, the actual 35th anniversary stuff that's the limited part of it. It's still limited, but in a different way, kind of thing.
So
I'm just glad that they are like. Real SNK is really behind this, and that they're doing like the mass market that seem like they're getting the production ramped up, so everybody that wants this is excited for it.
It's a reality. I mean, from what I understand, the original AES Metal Slug is like $10,000+, and we're going to get that. Even if you paid the $90 compared to $10,000, it's like you can't even compare it. Yeah. Like this is a chance for people to relatively economically get into the Neo Geo platform. This has never been available, and I don't think there's been a classic retro console re-release that has been done on this level. I think this is unprecedented.
Definitely not.
So I mean, it's something that I think for someone I've always been an arcade gaming and pinball channel, and for someone that loves arcade games, this is like magic. That's all the only way I can say it. For me, it's like magic. I never would have thought I would be able to get anything that was Neo Geo, but it looks like it's a reality. So, but let's continue finding about the challenges of making an indie game, which are completely going to be different than these games that we're going to get for $90.
In fact, when you announced your latest game, Necropop, people were very critical of it because it still costs $350 when the Neo Plus sells for your $80. There's a reason for those costs. As you're saying,
we can make a cartridge for Euros ATS show. For us, it's completely unfeasible. We'll get into the subject of cost later, okay? Another thing I've seen is that, of course, I think everyone who wanted a Neo Geo already has one. This new wave of people joining with the Neo Geo Plus hadn't entered the Neo Geo scene before in a way. I think it is due to the price. What's the price? Well, you already have an affordable product that costs you, so you spend Euro 200, so you spend Euro 200 and spend Euro 54 no more, and you get two great titles like Big Tournament Golf or Metal Slug. That, of course, up until now, I spent around 400 euro, for example. It could be euro, for example. It could be 350 euros. And what game would you get? Battlefield.
So, like, with the possibility of 2 more drops of 10, with a library of 30 games, you're jumping in really with a pretty good library to start if those rumors are true.
I think even with the 10 that they're offering
Mm-mm.
is a pretty solid library.
Yeah,
that
if
they
you
have
look at
built.
the 10, it's some of the best titles. Like they picked the cream of the cream, the cream of the crop. Let me just. I want to read this real
And
quick.
like going back, what he was saying was like people were giving them a bit of grief for having a high price cartridge. It's like I don't like that people were doing that. It's like
I don't think that's fair either.
obviously it's going to be priced more. It's a indie labor
Yeah,
of love to
it's
make this thing
reasonable.
exist in a small print run. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that they price it as reasonably as they could. So it's like, don't give them shit for that.
So, which new games and sequels are you most excited about? What ideas for future games? Okay. Hey, we got Carlo in the chat. Welcome to the stream. But Alex here is telling us the challenges of sourcing the flash memory for the cartridge, explaining that the small-scale producers who are making like 800 cartridges, they cannot negotiate the same low prices as the four main flash manufacturers as larger companies who are getting 10,000 cartridges at a time. So they're not going to be able to do that volume to kick that price down into that lower price, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just a matter of simple economics at that point. But let's continue to learn about all the challenges of developing an indie game on Neo Geo right now.
For Euro 80 se make Fukari. I suppose Plakain will go big. They'll be able to get a price for flash drives that we can't. Flash drives have a cost that is impossible to avoid. I mean, it's impossible for us and it's impossible for them. What's the difference? Well, we at Vengus Hunters produced 600 cartridges in the first run, and then an extra run of 200 was made. That's 800 cartridges in total. With 800 cartridges, you can't negotiate much on flashes, okay? And it goes like this. There are four main flash manufacturers. So you go to the manufacturer and say, hey, can you give me a special price? This works with all the parts like this in the chip industry. And they tell you, okay, show me the project and tell me what your annual consumption figures are annual. So you present the plan and they approve the price or not. When they approve the special price, they can give you a price that can be half or 30% off the list price. But of course, we have 800 cartridges. Each cartridge has 6 flashes. Multiply that. That's the consumption we have every year. If they come out with, I don't know, for example, 10,000 cartridges, then obviously they can get a price that is unfeasible for us. Malato. That is the first part of the flashes, which is an unavoidable cost. In addition to the flashes, the cartridge has level converters because the Nico and the Mega Drive and other consoles work at 5 volts. All the current electronics work at 3.3 volts. This is something that can be seen in Chinese cartridges. For example, you take 1 for cartridges or an EOSD, and there are 17 chips that convert the 5 volts or 3 volt signals, right? With 3. This is to avoid damage to the electronics of the console and the cartridge itself.
So apparently he's saying that not all the carts are made with the same quality, which I can totally believe. I mean, the Chinese carts are obviously not going to be made to the same quality as something like his game was made on, right?
It's kind of like the old Nintendo seal of quality thing with the unlicensed games there that would do different stuff to, be able to play on the NES. Like sometimes it would like spike a voltage or whatever. And it like, I think I don't know anybody's system who like it got wrecked by one of those games. I knew plenty of people that had like the Tengen carts and like Color Dreams carts.
Yeah.
But, like it is a very real possibility that it could. So
yeah, he's just talking. I think when he goes on to talk about the connector is what he's really looking at. Neo Severa is here. Welcome to the stream. He says he's curious about what kind of deals PlayOn's offering to the indie devs to publish their titles.
I hope they offer deals.
I hope they offer him some deals. I would think that would be a win-win, especially if you have a game like Alex here has a game that's completely finished. It's already done. Biggie D just won Samurai Showdown 2. I would 100%. I would probably say that is definitely probably going to be in Wave 2. I would be shocked if Samurai Showdown is not Wave 2. I would be shocked. That's all I got to say, because that is a popular game that a lot of people want.
I just want to say Neo Severa has a great channel with MVSX coverage.
I checked out his channel. He does a lot of good. A lot of cool Neo Geo content on his channel for sure. So let's continue watching. So he's talking about there's voltage converters inside the carts or something
That has
here.
a price or there's a cost. I can tell you more or less that the 17 chips cost around 40 euro. There you have your 12 euros you can save on the cartridge. Let's go to the NGS Plus. I haven't seen the project, okay? But they mentioned that they had made two ACs in the console. The advantage of making an ACI is that an FPGA goes to 3.3 volts. If you make an ACI, you can do it at 5 volts. You already save all that electronics. You save those level converters. It is not known, but what I guess is that if they have made X for the console, they have also made X for the cartridges. That would be what I would do. So with that, what do? You save all those level converters to convert the signal, all the signals of the cartridge that go from the flashes to the cartridge. You save all those signals from converting them from 5 volts to 3.3. You make the ACI directly at 3.3, and that's it. That also has another issue, and that is that you need at least an FPG at 11 PLD on the cartridge boards. If you make an ACI, you also integrate that. When you go to a very large volume, it is much cheaper than an FPGA. There are a lot of keys that they can do since they have volume, and we, without volume, can't attack. Our summary is that we can't produce an euro 8 euro cartridge because of the cost of the flash drives, and there are many more costs. You have to manufacture the plastic parts, both the ice box and the cartridge casings. You manufacture that in China. There are import costs. If you bring it by plane, it costs money. It costs a lot of money. It's more or less euros, $10 per kilo, if I remember correctly. It's money. Then you have to assemble it. There are a lot of costs. These costs are reduced when you go to volume.
You mentioned the example of NGDF, a benchmark in the field of homebrew for quality Neo games, but we also have another benchmark in FPGA, which is analog.
And I think that you can't understand the Neo Just Plus if you don't understand what analog did, and if you don't understand what was done with the mini consoles. The analog released the first.
Now this part was super interesting to me. He's going to talk about the way that FPGA Nintendo systems came out, and he didn't see why there would be any need for it, but it turned out to be very popular, right?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, people want these old machines, you know, and they want them authentic where they run the games perfectly.
I think I saw Arturo pop up. Good to see you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, you certainly can hold on to your money. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, we're just excited for the Neo Geo.
The Super Nintendo on FPGA 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 6 or 7. When I saw the product, I said, wow, this doesn't make sense to me. Why? Because I have a Super Nintendo, right? And I have an upscaler. At that time, I had a Framemaster Agamulu, an analog RGB video converter, HDMI, and mine. So of course, in my head, it didn't make sense. I said, who's going to buy this? The console was a success because I think that console also brought a lot of people, a lot of new people to the hobby. We're talking about all of us who play with analog, video, RGB, and so on. We already have video converters. We have all that equipment. So what's the point of buying a new console again? I think that can be extrapolated quite a bit to the Geo AES Plus issue. What else has happened here? Play has obtained the license from SNK. So of course you have the original case, you have the original product, you know? And that's a tremendous added value.
I have in my hands a copy of Vengeance Hunters, your game, and I have a question in my head. Would it be possible for Neo Geo AES Plus to release a Vengeance Hunters Plus edition? New games for the console.
Look at that smile. Look at that smile. You know, he's thinking, look at that smile. You could tell from his face right there. When that smile shows up, he's like, oh yeah, let's do this.
Anything is possible, David.
Anything is
It should be a
possible.
financial issue. I told you in Retro Barcelona, the development cost of Avengers Hunters was around 200,000 euro, 200,000. Okay, that's around €1, 100. There's a pretty big downside, and that's because I've been working on this for free for 4 years, and there are other people on the team who have been working for free for 4 years, and there are other people on the team who work part-time, other people full-time, and there are other people who do small things for free too. If you want to make a production like this, and you're going to have real costs, you can't do anything with euro 200,000. But then you think about the salary of the programmer who made this game. He's a senior person, of course. You need someone who knows assembly. There are parts of the development that are done in assembly, parts that are done, see, and you need a dinosaur like us, you know? Someone even older, you already have a professional.
Look at that. I mean, now that is presentation there. I mean, when you look at that, you don't need to ask if that is quality. I mean, let's just watch him unbox that one more time and take a look at that.
Person, of course.
But you don't need to ask. That's presentation. That's collectible. 100% if you're into video games.
Like us, you know? Someone even older you already have a professional with very specific skills, and that person is going to find work anywhere. So you have to pay them.
I
Is it
cannot
possible
wait.
to make a game like this and make it profitable. If there are no people working for free, no, absolutely not with my business model. I don't think with any other, because of course, how many units do you have to sell just to pay for it? This project, Nala's project, didn't start out as a company to make money, but it was set up to make a quality game for Neo Geo to fill the gaps in the catalog.
And here's the
We've done a
thing
lot of
too.
work on that. If you see more or less, we're attacking the gaps in the
Pause this
system.
here.
And it
The beat 'em up to me this is where they need a great game, because we're going through all the beat 'em ups, and I think the beat 'em up category is where we could use another title.
Beat 'em up. I love beat 'em ups, and
I love beat 'em
I gotta
ups, but
say,
we're going
I
through
think
them all.
the Neo Geo beat 'em ups are weak.
Yeah, I mean,
like I'm not saying like I love Robo Army and you know, but they're not as good as that like you would expect on the Neo Geo. Like I'm expecting like a beat 'em up to be up there with their fighting games.
And
so
this is where, to me, what he is saying is really smart. If you're going to develop a good new game, develop a beat 'em up, because that's a hole that needs to be filled in the Neo Geo library, which I think is great. But I mean, who would want to have? Look at that red cartridge. Who wouldn't want to have that in their game library? I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, this is something that is collectible, right?
And I'm putting the tinfoil hat back on because I agree with GamesBro here. I think there's a deal already made.
You think they already got the deal made, huh?
I'm speculating on this because Bruno did say in the other video that dropped, like, new games. Like, everybody's like, what? Well, you know, okay, SNK's been making moves, and like clearly they're working on like a new Metal Slug and all that. They've been hiring pixel artists and everything. But like there was a different new games and sequels, and so I'm thinking, hey, here's somebody with a beat 'em up that looks great. Haven't played it yet, but I'm excited to.
I am too.
That look he was making, like I can't say anything.
He had a little bit of a smile on there. He said, "I don't know." Yeah,
I would be very excited to see that, and I think that would be like great news for like the indie community and just for like the future of like new games being released on the platform. So
100%. And we have some comments. I just want to highlight a little bit of the chat. They're having a conversation in the chat. I think fighting games definitely are something that the Neo Geo has a real strength in. So I want to see them release all those great fighting games. You know, I'm a fan of shmups, so I want to see a few of the shmups that are good come to cartridges too. As long as they do, like, I think the first wave had such a perfect variety. We had a sports game, we had a shmup, we had some great fighters. I think as long as they mix it up like that, I think that's the variety is what's important. So if the next 10 they do as good with the variety as they did with the first 10, I think that would be the path to go. What do you think?
Yeah, I would. This is interesting because with fighting games, I kind of agree. Like there's so many, but they're really good. But I have gotten so into SNK fighting games recently. Like I've rediscovered my love for fighting games, and part of that like is the story. The storylines across these SNK fighting games, whether it's King of Fighters and Fatal Fury, and how the world of these characters feel.
It's a complete living and breathing world. Yeah.
Yeah. And like you get a sense of like these characters know each other, they're friends, they don't really know these guys. And like they have like the different interactions at like the start of the matches based on like how well they know each other. It's these like neat little touches that make the SNK fighting games stand out for me. So like if there's more stuff like that, I'm all for it, even though like I would prefer beat 'em ups. I would prefer
I am too. You know, I'm an old school gamer.
Love seeing that. I mean, it's the kind of depth I'm not used to seeing in fighting games.
Yeah, I love that I'm going to get a chance to get into fighting games a bit more. This is a good chance for me to expand my horizons and really learn about some of these great Neo Geo fighting games. You know, I grew up in the arcade of the 80s, you know, and getting to visit the 90s with some of the greatest Neo Geo titles, you know, exact replicas that I could play at home. I mean, that's super exciting for me, you know. let's continue watching, but let's put that beautiful cartridge back on there so we can see it. And continue watching. But you could see the challenges. Like, basically, they worked for free to get this game out. So hopefully this would be a title that they would pick up, to help them out. But let's continue watching. He's got a lot to say.
And filling those gaps and leaving quality products behind. What happens with this? Of course, you have huge technical limitations. We make the game on Neo Geo. We cover the investment development costs on Neo Geo. And then we sell the game on Steam, PlayStation, and others. And that's where we make money. What happens? The last part of the business plan didn't work. You go to Steam, and you see Hunters has fantastic reviews. I mean, you can see them on Steam. What happened? 2,000 units have been sold on Steam. That's terrible. Why haven't we sold more units? Because we haven't gained visibility. Because you have to go with a powerful publisher to do marketing for you to reach the right places. This is a bit of the business model explained. What happens with development? When you make a game for the Neo Geo, you have terrible technical limitations. Those technical limitations increase the cost of production. You can only use 16 colors at the same time simultaneously. Then the Neo Geo can't do things like rotations. And then the Neo Geo is very tight on CPU. You play Metacritic 2, which is a masterpiece, and it has a lot of slowdowns because...
It's talking Metal Slug. It's just with the translation. It's a little off, but Metal Slug. But he's saying here, too, that when you develop for the Neo Geo, there's certain things you cannot just make a game like you would for a modern console. You have to work within the limitations of the Neo Geo, which is something that's interesting that he's talking about. It was a struggle just to do a dev. There's no dev kit for it, from what he was saying. What do you think, Johnny?
I completely agree.
I mean, the challenges are going to be working with this hardware.
Console alone. During development, for example, in the case of Anger Hunters, we had to test how many enemies you could put on the screen at the same time without the console crashing or dropping below 60 frames per second. In other words, you play Venga Hunters. There are no rentals anywhere. That's no coincidence. Everything has been tested to the max. Funds limit you in absolutely everything. And those limitations that you have in development, when you transfer it to a modern console, you have it gaming 43 and with the same limitations that you can't add more characters and so on. You're not going to make the same commercial product if you leave the Neo Geo aside, as if you make a game for the Neo Geo and the rest of the consoles, you have a lot of limitations that you drag on to current players.
So I understand from what you're telling me that the games that are already amortized, like this one, where production costs are already covered, could be released, but completely new games, where the new games would be more complicated. But we'd have to see the formula, right, to achieve that.
For sure. What I believe is that with volume, anything is possible. So, of course, you tell me, hey, we can sell 40,000 units of this. Obviously, that's just a matter of doing math. If you take Euro 10 for 40,000 of each cartridge, you have Euro 400,000 each. With that, you almost amortize the production cost if it's already a professional team. If they don't have people working for free, like us, who work for free because they want there to be a new Neo Geo game. I got involved in this project by financing it because I wanted there to be more Neo Geo games on the market. But if you take a company, let's say SNK or any other company, and say, well, SNK is going to make commercial Neo Geo games. SNK is going to have to cut costs for the development of a new Neo Geo game of Euro 400, Euro 500,000. You're going to amortize that. If it would be NK, it probably would, but you're going to make money with that game on current consoles. I think it's very difficult. They're going to earn more by making a native game for PlayStation, for the rest of the platforms, than by making a specific game for Neo Geo. That's my personal opinion. You could be wrong.
He's saying that it's more profitable to make a game for a current system than to develop something custom for the Neo Geo.
Oh, well, definitely.
I mean, this is definitely a niche, right? I mean, you're talking about a niche. You got to be into...
Beyond that, I have to think like, okay, I mean, look at how games have changed since back then. Like, you know,
not for the best on all of it. Believe me, there's
right?
so
like,
much with modern gaming I can't stand. You know,
once we got into like the 5th generation, everything with like 3D polygons and all that.
And you don't even own anything. Everything's digital anymore. You don't even own your games anymore.
Versus the complete sprite-based system that the Neo Geo was. I mean, like the tools just aren't there. Like, I mean, well, he was saying that they had to build a lot.
They literally had to create them or figure them out as they went, which is a challenge, right? Yeah, it's $20 on Steam. If you want to support this developer, his game is on Steam right now for $20. So go definitely support him.
It looks really good.
It looks really good. Plus, if you really love it, you know, if it comes out for the Neo Geo, you can get it on the Neo Geo as well. But you know, you can try it out for $20, which I think is not a bad deal. So let's go back. There we go.
Neo S Plus has been a huge success. In fact, I didn't expect it. I don't think even the most optimistic person within Player for SNK had foreseen this scenario. But of course, that raises doubts from me, because I understand that they had negotiated a series of chips, a series of memories, a series of components with the suppliers. Maybe they've seen it. Maybe they've seen it. Overwhelmed with this high demand. This can break the stock in some ways. It happens with analog. Suddenly, there is no need to wait a few months or even that. Suddenly, people are left without a console.
That can happen. It has been a success. I don't know if it was expected, but totally justified. The product is fantastic and it is understandable. What will happen with the stock? Well, when you place an order for flashes, okay, imagine you talk to the supplier, okay, with the official review that supplies the flashes, you say, I'll have this consumption for 5 years. In the first year, you will deliver this many units, and usually no one has stock. So these parts are queued up in a chain of orders for other chips that the manufacturer has on production line, and usually they give you between 20 and 30 weeks of delivery time for these parts. I think they launched last month, and I think they start delivering in November. Yes, they do have margin, or I think there is margin, that they had margin to talk to the supplier of the phrase and tell them, this order that I had assigned to you, which was for so many units for this year, I want you to serve me the rest that I've ordered for the next 2 years now, for the next time. I do see that as viable, because it is usually about 20 weeks. If I were in the Neo Gas Plus project and I had seen the success, the day I saw the first sales, I would have called the flash supplier to tell them, I need you to order this.
We need to get those cartridges rolling out the factories. Johnny, we need those cartridges.
We need cartridges now.
Because in the end, it's just serving you flashes, manufacturing more PCBs, and soldering more. Once you have the line ready for everything is viable, but you have to be smart.
One of the questions that people ask the most is about Chinese cartridges, the 160.
No, this is what people aren't going to want to hear. They're not going to want to hear this. Not going to want to hear what he has to say about the Chinese cartridges. But here we go.
On Antonio's full set, those types of products. People have doubts, first of all, about whether they're going to work. And secondly, whether they could be harmful to the new machine. What do you think about that?
Well, I'll give you the short answer, okay? Which is that they have to be opened. And the long answer is why. If it's like Ann told me, I hope it is, I think all cartridges will work, but there's a catch. When you produce the Neo Geo cartridge, there are a lot of places where you can save money. I'll list a few. For example, the connector. There are 2 PCBs, 2 boards in each identical cartridge. If you take a Chinese cartridge, you can be beveled or not beveled. Beveled is when the edge, instead of being a right angle, has a curve. That curve is made with a drill in the board factory. That has a cost. Does it seem like a small cost to you? I don't know exactly when the cost is, because when we started making the first cartridges for the Neo SD 10 years ago, we asked from day one that they be beveled. At that time, there was an argument with the factory about that having a cost, but that cost could be 50 cents, euro, 1 euro, whatever the factory wants to ask. The Chinese may have saved that. You have to check the cartridge first, it's beveled. If it's not, when you insert that cartridge into any console, in a normal Neo Geo or in the Neo Geo AES Plus, that applies a force. You have a right angle, and that messes up the pins of the console. It's not like you're going up like it.
Actually, we're definitely not sleeping on Sengoku. We played the Sengoku 3 in our Retro Legends arcade tournaments a couple weeks ago. It was the first beat 'em up we played. But the Sengoku series is great for beat 'em ups. I'm not saying there aren't any good beat 'em ups on the Neo Geo, but I really did enjoy Sengoku 3. We're probably going to revisit the other ones as well. Have you played that one ever, Joystick Johnny?
I've played 3. I haven't spent much time with 1 and 2 though.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and play 1 and 2, but 3 was really pretty awesome, to be honest. You can bevel your own carts. He's right. It's just dangerous over time. Beveling is done by hand with a file. I used to do PC board manufacturing. Okay. So, in other words, just be careful with those carts. There's always a chance, you can always break something if you try hard enough. You know what I mean, Johnny?
Yeah, oh yeah.
If I jam that card in haphazardly, crooked, there's a good chance, that you can break something if you're not using common sense and common care,
Yeah, this is something else interesting. I gotta keep putting the tinfoil hat on.
Okay, tinfoil hat's going back on. Well, this is what we're talking about here. This is what the stream's about.
So early on, like one of my big things is like I really want to get MVS cabinet.
That's a day one
eventually, and I'm like, okay, what's this going to do to MVS cart prices and all that, and just cabinets in general. But during like in the announcement and everything, that's where I found out that one of the makers of this, the Furtek, I think was their name, that worked on it.
Adapter?
They already made like the fusion adapter, the MVS to AES adapter, and those were like sold out or something. And they like posted something like wait till November or something like that. Don't worry. And it made it sound like wait a minute. This just came out that you were working on the AES Plus. And like what Bruno was saying, Furtek, a lot of their knowledge came from them. So if there is like a new AES Plus specific adapter coming out, like that's kind of interesting. It kind of makes me wonder about like the power differences and all of that, and like what's going to be safest for the AES Plus versus like the regular AES.
Well, I mean, that would be a no-brainer accessory they could sell, right? I mean, if they sold the cartridge adapter to use MVS cards, that could be like another thing they could sell, and make an official one, or not. I mean, but I mean, it's definitely. I think a lot of people are going to be looking for those adapters once everyone has these in their hands. Especially those people that get the original 10 cards, they want to add more. They're going to look at the prices and be like, "Oh, I need to make a decision on what I want to do." Right?
There's lots
of different options. I don't want to
wait for Metal Slug 2. I want to test that overclocking feature now.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Neo Severa says, "Yeah, Furtek confirmed that this MVS to AES adapter does work on the AES Plus." You heard it right here. It's been confirmed.
Cartridge today, and see the pins messed up, but with a lot of insertions over the years, you can get the console connector to not insert well. Another issue, level converters. I've seen photos of Chinese cartridges inside. Level converters can save you Euro 10 to Euro 11. They sell you a cartridge without level converters in the signals, which are chips that convert the signals of all the flashes and all the cartridge electronics from 5 volt to 3.3. You save if you take a cartridge that doesn't have level converters and plug it into the console will start up. What will happen in the future with the exhaust device of a cartridge without those level converters? The Chinese, as long as the cartridge is plugged in, if it works the first time, what happens in the future doesn't matter. I mean, they won't have to deal with you. You bought it on AliExpress or wherever, and that's it.
They're also selling it too cheap.
So, of course, I've seen a lot of things, pictures of Chinese cartridges, and I've seen a lot of ports.
There's that old saying, you get what you pay for, And I did ask Gamesboro. He has an MVS, Johnny. And Gamesboro said some of those games, they just don't run quite right, too. I mean, the Chinese cartridge solution is not the ultimate solution. Now, it might be a way to play some of the games, but just don't expect it to be the be-all, end-all ultimate, right?
It's a way to save money, like
it's a way to save money.
You get what you pay for, and
you get what you pay for.
What's the availability and all of that, but like making it like the default kind of thing. Like I think I would rather do emulation at that point than Chinese cartridges. If
the game doesn't run right, I mean, you might as well just play it on emulation at that point. But that's something interesting to keep in mind, Gamesboro says, I'm waiting for my Samurai Showdown perfect bootleg to croak for the exact reasons he said.
Yeah. Okay. That are terrible. And there are articles that detail why the boards are terrible. Renell from, I think it was Video Games Electronics CA, did an article quite a while ago detailing Chinese cartridges, which ones had converters, which ones didn't, and the damage they could do to consoles. And I personally wouldn't put a cartridge in a knob that didn't have level converters. How do you know which ones have and which ones don't? You have to open the cartridge because there are so many factors, and between them, they've copied so many times. And they've copied so many times that you can only design so many times that you can only tell if that cartridge opens, and there are other parts where you can save money. You can save on
how else are we going to play the King of Gladiators? More Complete wants to know, how are we going to play it without that cartridge? You know, that's crazy. Like, one of the games I really want is that Mr. Do Neo Geo game. I love that game. I discovered it in emulation, but I would love to play that on official Neo Geo hardware. So, it's like some games like that, you know, they're probably never going to come. So maybe you'll give us that option.
An AES release, so
you know,
that was MVS exclusive.
I don't see that coming because of the licensing and all the craziness. So maybe you give us the option to play some things that we might not be able to get to play otherwise. Yeah. That's how I'm kind of looking at it, me personally.
I hope that they get some of the Taito games on board, though.
Yeah, at least Puzzle Bobble, because every time I saw a Neo Geo, it was Puzzle Bobble and something else, right? That Puzzle Bobble, I think, was in every Neo Geo MVS.
Yeah,
that was like a staple. You know, and who
there's
doesn't love
one
Puzzle
near
Bobble?
me that
so fun.
has
you know,
Bobble
it's just a fun
like,
game.
it's
I would
there,
totally pick that up.
Finish of the board. When you have a gold finish, what you do is prevent the connector from rusting when you insert it. With the inserts, it lasts much longer.
I mean, look at that. Look at that. Now, that is a thing of beauty. I mean, that is a whole different level. I mean, look at it's got all the characters on the circuit board. I mean, you know, this is part of the reason why these indie carts. I mean, look at the quality you're getting.
The cartridge doesn't turn black. All those things cost money. And in the end, when you have the total cost of the product, it just adds up and adds up. And what the Chinese guys going to do is sell you a cartridge for 150, 200, but it will save you on all those things. Those things affect both the product itself that you have purchased and the use that is made of the console.
The console launches in November. We've had an exaggerated first month of videos of all kinds on channels, forums, social networks, brutal, huge interest. Now it is decreasing a little, obviously, because there is still time until November. I imagine that from now on, they will release some news, some announcement, they will start to regain interest. Do you think that this launch will freeze when November comes? That when people have the console, they say, okay, that's it. And if this boom passes a little bit, or do you think it will be consistent?
I think that in order to maintain interest in the console, in the long term, I think new games are needed. That's my personal opinion. Whether it's going to happen, whether there will be new games or not, I honestly don't know. My personal opinion is that with new games, interest would increase.
A new Metal Slug, a new Fatal Fury, things like that, right?
New Metal Slug, I wish. Exactly. I wish I would be the first to buy it. I wish.
I've been asking people who are involved in the industry, and it seems that many people in Spain are buying second unit. There are games like Metal Slug that are selling like crazy, but in many cases, in duplicatos.
It seems like too, like in Spain, this is just like massively popular. Are you finding that? I mean, it's just like it's popular here, but I mean, it's just like blowing up. Like if you look at their YouTube, the Spanish channels, I mean, they have all the scoops, and they're so into it.
It's so much great coverage.
Coverage, even though it's in another language, Spain. It's fantastic.
And like, here's the crazy thing. Like, if you're following like PlayOn's like America's account, trying to get news, no, they're posting stuff every day, but they're talking about like every other game that they're involved.
I know they're not talking about the Neo Geo AES Plus, which is what we want the information on.
But you go to the PlayOn Spain account.
Crickets.
No, PlayOn Spain. They're going. Hey, what games do you guys want next? What soccer game do you want? It's like all sorts of speculation. It's all about Neo Geo, whereas here it's like just a bunch of everything else, but.
Yeah, and I mean, shout out to the Spanish channels for doing such a great job. It's kind of like that's where I'm going for news. They're getting all the scoops, and they're finding out for us. This is truly though an international product, and you can see how that it's an international product. We had a video from a French video the other day. Now we have a Spanish video. This is a worldwide product, which I think is great. I think it's pretty neat.
Are hints of speculation. They're from people who want to keep the games. What do you think about this delicate subject? Do you think there is any kind of business in this when it is a company that has shown that it is not making limited products, that it is selling everything it can? No more. A sensitive topic.
Sensitive topic. I'm going to give my opinion from my personal non-professional perspective as a collector, which I'm not. I think this is very typical of a Spaniards. For example, when Resident Evil Reign came out, the one for PlayStation 5, I tried to buy a unit of the version that has the steel box, okay. I haven't been able to find one in a store, but on Wallapop, they have all the ones you could want. I can believe that there are a lot of people who have bought 2 or 3 units because the cartridge costs so much, and I think there'll be a stock shortage, and on day one, I think there will be a lot of cartridges on Wallapop.
Of course, because from day one, it was said that they were extremely limited copies. In the end, it wasn't like that, but people saw that it was limited and started buying like crazy.
I believe there will be cartridges for everyone, and I think that there's going to be a pop for us as well.
It will be a bit like the minis, right? Nintendo minis and such, right?
I think so. I have Metal Stacks reserved, Sock Troopers, and I think another one. And I wouldn't have bought 2 copies for that. No, I don't know. It doesn't fit in my head. I think there are going to be too many copies.
I find it hilarious that collectors, or some collectors, are called speculators for wanting to buy our game and have a shelf aloft. And yet the market is showing with real figures. I can't say them, but them confirmed. It is showing that people are wanting to speculate with this machine. It seems to me like the final joke to say that the Neo Geo Lost Plus is going to end speculation and it's becoming a speculated machine from day one.
See, how do we explain this?
Now, I don't know if this is so much an issue in the United States. It might be a little bit, but apparently you're saying 50% of the orders, people are buying 2 copies of the same games. And stores are worried about cancellations in Spain, which is where this video is from.
I could see that in Spain, but I definitely don't.
I don't think that's happening here in the States. I think most people are just glad to be able to order one of each. But, you always have those scalpers, and it's never a good thing with video games. But this is anything that's popular. There'll be some scalping.
They're trying it, but it's not gonna go well for them here, at least.
I don't think so.
What we know.
We have figures and they are very crazy.
We have figures not from the playoffs, but from people we work with, from stores. We have data from stores. David, you have them and I also have them firsthand. And what they have told us is that there are a lot of people who have bought 2 copies of the same game. But a lot is more than 50%, and they have told us directly that they hope those people cancel their orders before November, because once November arrives, stores can revive stores that have told us directly that this could be the death knell for some small stores, this massive cancellation of products and orders.
Most stores believe that when November arrives and people see that this is not a limited product, they will get rid of the second unit because they won't be able to sell it at double or triple the price, or that kind of thing, right? That's where things are going, right?
That's where things are going.
In fact, there have already been cancellations.
Yes, that's what they've told us. So, of course, we really have an idea of how the market is doing, what the forecast is, because these stores in Spain have given us details about how things are going, and they have told us that in the case of a very large store that has more than 50% of orders, where people have bought 2 copies of the same game, that store has also confirmed to us that they have been told that there will be stock for cartridges for everyone. They told us yesterday that the scenario to they expect in November is that people will start canceling orders because there is stock for everyone and there is no possibility of reselling them on Biolab.
Buy to collect, to play. Don't be a pirate.
Don't be a pirate now.
Insult others for wanting to play the games. Hey, Alex.
Let people play their games.
Thanks to you, David.
It was a pleasure as always, and I think it has been very interesting. And at least we hope that people know a little bit about how this works from the inside, and that they are aware that selling for Euros 80 is not within everyone's reach, right?
Ours is certainly not. We wish.
Once again, a huge thank you to Creativo and Hopon. Awesome. Okay, there we go. That was the video. What'd you think about that, Johnny?
Yeah, that was really cool to see.
Yeah,
like crazy how, it's a labor of love to make those indie games for a platform like this, but then it's like, so much time where it's like none of them were making anything off of it, and they still have yet to just like recover the development costs, let alone the cartridges. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. So let's go ahead and switch gears. You ready? We're gonna switch gears. Right. We're gonna talk about something a little different real quick. And the next topic on my board to talk about is you, Johnny Joystick. Let's talk about a video you did. Let's talk a little bit about this video right here. I thought getting older killed my love of gaming. What? And this beautiful thumbnail with you with a check by the Neo Geo and the X by some of the modern consoles. What can you tell me about this? By the way, if you're not subscribed to Johnny Joystick, what are you doing? This guy's putting on incredible content. Please go over there and subscribe. I'm a huge fan. I'm a subscriber. You can see right here I'm subscribed. But tell me a little
Really
bit about your
appreciate it.
video. I really enjoyed this video, but I want to hear from the source. Can you tell us a little bit about this video?
So when the AES Plus announced, like I snapped a little bit, honestly.
Uh-huh.
You know, it was like the games are $90.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't want to pay $90 for a new game. Why am I okay with this? And I kind of did another video about that, but like I had to peel it apart into these two sides of it. And when I thought about it, I'm like, I don't enjoy like the new stuff. It doesn't like give me that same sort of excitement that the AES Plus is. And I did have to ask myself, I'm like, you know what? Before you buy this, if this is your last console, if you never get anything else and all the games that you get from here on out are just the cartridges for the AES Plus, are you going to be okay with that? And my answer is like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay. And I'm like, you know, there wasn't any sort of sense of loss there when like saying I'm not going to buy a new console or something from here on out. And ever since then, like all the major players have been doing are giving me like more and more reasons why it's
reasons, more higher subscriptions, forced online connectivity, removing features you love from games without your permission, you know, and then forcing you to you have to update to play the game.
Yeah,
like it's just the list goes on and on. Putting ads in your games without permission.
You have to be online to you know in order to start it up. And I'm just like,
you have to be online to have the console complete. Like they're saying that even to use it, it has to be online.
Yeah,
you know. Here's what I love: like the arcade games are pure and simple. They're and the Neo Geo had some great arcade games where if you want to play and last, you have to get good. They're brutal. I like a difficult game.
Yeah.
It's like when I review pinball machines, like I never review them based upon how difficult. If they're difficult, to me, that's a good thing. That means I'm not going to beat the game right away. It means it's going to challenge me.
You want like the difficult, but not like the frustrating and cheap.
Not frustrating and cheap. Exactly. Just like pinball.
Where like it feels like it's your fault if you don't get through it, you know? And yeah. On the games, I'm like, I just want to put the cartridge in. I just want to turn it on, and I just want to go. It's nice and simple. I'm like, I don't need this stuff anymore. I'll let everybody else have all the controversies, all the drama that comes with them.
No online.
Nothing can do it. Like, okay, if there is an internet, I can still play this. I can do whatever, and then I'm like, I can build up a nice little library. They'll look nice on my shelf of like something I know will put in and work.
And then, of course, there's always the thing. These games are not made for the older guys like us. These games are made for the younger people. Yeah. And I think there's a disconnect. Like that's one of the reasons why I think this is so strong too. It connects with people that lived in the time that there was the Neo Geo and remember this. I think there's a totally different feeling to this.
Yeah.
What do you think?
And I'm like you. I'm an arcade rat, and that's the thing. Like growing up in there, playing those games, go a quarter at a time. Console games for me, I wanted the arcade experience at home, and then like when I had ports of arcade games, I would treat it like practice for the arcade, and that's kind of like the Neo Geo was the ultimate expression of that because it was the exact same thing at home, and you'd have the memory card that you'd take back and forth.
and then like so many of the modern games too, you start them and like I literally forget what I was doing. Like like the game is so many hours long that I can't do that. I can't invest that amount of time.
It's like here's 100 hours of content. I'm like, that's great if that's the only thing I'm ever playing, because it's like how long is that going to take me? And there's this one game and people love it. I'm not saying the game is bad by any means. I haven't played it. I never will. Crimson Desert is one. Very popular. People are saying very very good things about it, but they're also saying that it takes like 350 hours to beat.
Yeah.
And like you can spend
The only
100
games I like that are the Fallout games. I've always loved the Fallout universe, and I've played like the Fallout games. I'll invest that kind of time into, but I
those are,
just
like,
can't
my
invest
favorite of
it.
all
I
time,
can't
but-
invest it in everything, you know.
But 350 hours to get through one game, I don't know.
Yeah.
30 for a Fallout game, all right, you know, like 40 over time, definitely. But like when people were spending like 100 hours in like the beginning thing, and this was like this game came out in March, and I was reading this in like earlier this month in June that people were saying no, it takes 350 hours to complete this game. I'm like, wait, when was this released? And then when I did the math, it was like people were spending 42 hours a week.
That's like
a whole other.
That's like having a part-time job. You know, I mean, that's
full-time job.
Yeah, it's a full-time job.
Like, oh my god! Like, how are you doing it? I'm like, that's not me. But if I am going to play a game a bunch, I would rather play one thing over and over again and like get good at it
and get
work
good at
my
it
way through. And I don't need like 300, 500 hours of just content, which is mainly walking from point A to point B.
And
like,
here's the
going
thing
around
too.
on fetch quests and stuff.
And here's the
Like,
thing too. Like
give me
these
a
modern
20-minute
games. Yeah,
Give
these
me a
modern
20-minute
games.
game that's hard.
These modern games are made where everyone gets through it. You're not special. Everyone, if you play long enough, gets through the game. Sometimes it will just hold your hand and it will take you to the next part of the game. I mean, I remember when games used to be hard and like you could get stuck and just get totally like frustrated. But the way games are anymore, everyone completes the game. It's
Like,
you're not special when you complete the game.
I think like the last AAA game I played with like new one was Stellar Blade, and like it was good. I did enjoy the combat in it, and it was tough, but there was never a point where I felt like I'm not going to be able to beat this. Aside from like, oh my god, how much longer do I have to play this before it's over? But then. I played through the original NES Castlevania for the first time, like back in October, like, cause I'm like, I'm going to get through this. And I spent hours like playing it over and over until I got to the point where I could finally beat it. And that still took me like 5 hours to get through. But that was like a really satisfying experience, even though it was like a really short game. And I didn't know if I would be able to actually do that.
Yeah. And I like that they have the choice where we can have it on the arcade version if we just want to quarter through a game.
Yeah.
But we can go back to the console version where
and you know
our
what?
credits are limited to actually challenge ourselves.
I love quarter feeding. Like I'll do that all day long. I love emulating an arcade game and just playing through it.
It's
but
fun.
I also like going back and like actually trying to like challenge myself. Like back in the day, it was us versus a machine. Like I had like $2 in my pocket. Like I need to make this last for the next hour and a half until my mom.
There was a time when I used to be able to single quarter the game Black Tiger and play from beginning to end in one quarter. So I tried to do that recently. And I found out, wow, I must have played it a lot because I couldn't do it now anymore. But, but I could get back there if I practiced. And that's what I think these games, by limiting your library, it gives you a chance to really focus in on these classic games and actually get good at them rather than playing everything. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's quality over quantity and
quality
how
over
you
quantity.
Want to approach it. And like there was
Purpose-based
a time
gaming.
where I would be like, oh, I want like a bigger variety and all this, and maybe I wouldn't do that. But now I'm like, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, I am too. I think that's just where I'm at right now as far as with gaming. But anyway, I would highly recommend everyone, not right now because you're watching the Retro Legends Arcade Show, but right after the show, go and check out his video. And he's got a great video.
Thank you.
And I really did enjoy it. Let me put it up one more time. Let me find, where's that slide? Got too much stuff here. There's your beautiful thumbnail. There's the slide right here. But this video right here is a good one. I thought getting older killed my love for gaming on his channel. This is a great video. I highly recommend.
Yeah, I did think I was just growing out of it, but then like this came up, and I'm like, No, it's still there, and now I'm like, I just ignore the modern stuff. I focus on that. I can focus on like arcade stuff, you know, like the things that I care about that I used to like not think was even an option. You know, like actual arcade hardware and all of that. And I'm like, well, this just frees up that space, like the mental space, if not the actual physical space I need freed up. You know,
so let's talk a little.
I can dive into that.
So it's a time. It's time for us to talk a little bit about. Talk a little bit about some home arcade 1-up news with the iconic arcade. First, I got to put a little trailer up to get us in the right mood.
A picture's worth 1,000 words. Customers are beta testers. Spreetail is crushing it with their new tagline, "Go somewhere else." Look at this amazing workmanship by the iconic team. Guys are doing a great job. Amazing work. After a year and a half,
The Gen X Gamer, great channel. Check out, he's got a lot to say. This video came out. Did you get to see this one from the Rexer show?
I did.
These companies are selling you defective products, and they know they are defective.
This is I thought a great gloves off video, even for Rexer, who doesn't even put the gloves on to begin with.
Yeah, you know, pink screens, no sound, no online gameplay. Still broken and for sale. You know, and you know, we should demand quality. You know.
Yeah.
And it, you know, it takes guts to put your neck out there on the line the way that the Rexer show does, and just speak the truth sometimes. You know, in a world full of you know, greased palms and free trips and free products. You know, but I feel like, you know. What is your experience? How did you get into the home arcade hobby, since I have you on here as a guest? We don't need to go over the complete thing, but basically, what got you back into the retro gaming home arcade hobby?
I won a arcade 1-up partycade at a local arcade with tickets.
Okay.
And then I started modding it. And I'm like, this is kind of fun. And I went, like, I had my little Raspberry Pi emulation box. And I went out and I bought like a teardown arcade 1-up project cab. And I built a control panel and put all that in. And I'm like, oh, this is fun. And then I ended up with like a few more little cabs and just into it. I'm like, oh, yeah,
they're like rabbits, they multiply. Once you have one of those arcade 1-ups, before you know it, you have 3, and then you have 9, then you're like, what am I doing? I got to get rid of these.
And then I got one, like a Galaga one that wasn't working. I'm like Project Cab. I'm gonna slap a Raspberry Pi in it.
Once you make a multicade, you're set.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. Well, I'd already made one. I'm like, now I'm going to make another one. That one was, you know, the 4-3 horizontal. Now I'm going to make one for shooters.
Vertical, yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't working, so I got it like dirt cheap. It was like $60. I'm like, yay, Project Cab. I get it home. I turn the thing works. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm not doing anything yet. I'm going to leave it there until, you know, something happens. And then it just started this whole thing.
Well, it's a great hobby. Like you were saying, like eventually you made your own Raspberry Pi and your own custom arcade cabinet. And then you start discovering all these great games that through emulation that were fantastic that you might not have ever seen.
And all of a sudden you know but they need like a special, you know, control setup to like really get the whole experience for it. And it's like something like emulation can't deliver this. So it's like you got to build your own. Yeah, you know, like getting like the GRS, like the Atari Super Joystick, the rotary sticks, and using those on stuff like that. Great. Now I can play these games the way they were meant to be played.
Yeah, it's like, and then you're like, oh, I want to play Tempest, but I want to have a spinner, you know? And then like, yeah, it's a never ending source of like, if you want to have a hobby that's arcade related, it is a lot. It's part of the fun, I think.
Oh yeah,
is playing these classic games with good controls. We spent the last week playing 2 games. We've spent the last week playing Robo Army, the beat 'em up, and we played the Shmup Ghost Pilots. We're moving on to new games this week. I'm going to show a little video showing the 2 new games we're adding to the Retro Legends arcade. I will be able to put comments up on the screen, so if you have comments, you can put them up on the screen, and we'll be checking in with the chat right after this video plays. Does that sound good?
sounds good to me.
Okay, I'm gonna let her roll. I'm gonna let her rip. Let me find the video. And these are the 2 games we're bringing on our leaderboards. Links to drop scores in these games are in the chat, are in the description of this video. And this is part of our iScored weekly tournaments for the Retro Legends Arcade. Hey everybody, it's Papa Brad from Papa Brad's Gaming, and welcome back to another Retro Legends Arcade show. This week we're diving into 2 classic Neo Geo titles for our high score leaderboards. One is a fast-paced horizontal shooter packed with power-ups and giant bosses, while the other is a street-fighting brawler inspired by the arcade beat-em-up craze of the early 1990s. Get those joysticks ready because we're talking about Andro Dunos and Burning Fight. Got 4 different types of shots. Normal. It's like homing, rolling. Is that like a laser shot, the second shot? Andro Dunos was released in 1992 by Visco for SNK's Neo Geo arcade system. While it might not be as famous as shooters like Polestar, Blazing Star, or Last Resort, it has earned a loyal following over the years for its solid gameplay and unique weapon system. The game takes place in the future after devastating war has left Earth under attack from alien invaders known as the Yellow Flower Federation. Players pilot the Andro Dunos fighter in a mission to save humanity. One thing that makes Andro Dunos stand out is its weapon system. Instead of collecting random power-ups, players can switch between 4 different weapons at any time. These include a standard forward shot, a powerful laser weapon, a widespread shot, and a homing weapon. Each weapon can be upgraded multiple times, allowing players to adapt to different enemy patterns and boss encounters. The game features 7 stages filled with mechanical enemies, asteroids fields, giant battleships, and some impressive bosses for its time. Although it wasn't a huge arcade hit when it launched, Andro Dunos gained new attention years later when a sequel, Andro Dunos 2, was released nearly 30 years after the original game. Here's some gameplay tips for Andro Dunos. Tip 1. Learn when to switch weapons. Spread shot works great for crowded areas, while the laser can shred bosses quickly. Tip 2. Don't waste power-ups. Every weapon can become extremely powerful when fully upgraded. Focus on building one weapon rather than constantly switching. Tip 3. Memorization is key. Like many classic shooters, enemy placement and boss attacks are predictable. The more you play, the further you'll get. Tip 4. Use the charge attack. Many players forget about it, but the charge attack can clear dangerous enemies and help you survive tough sections. Tip 5. Stay near the bottom center of the screen. This gives you more reaction time to dodge incoming bullets and enemies. 39,800. That'll be my initial score onto that one. This game is cool. $39,800. Now let's move from outer space to the streets. Released in 1991, Burning Fight was one of the very first beat-em-ups available on the Neo Geo hardware. Developed by SNK, the game was clearly inspired by the massive success of Capcom's Final Fight, which was dominating arcades at the time. The story follows police officers Duke Edwards and Billy King, along with the undercover agent Ryu, as they battle organized crime throughout the city. Players fight their way through gangs, bars, casinos, docks, city streets, while taking on waves of enemies and powerful bosses. While Burning Fight is often compared to Final Fight, it has developed its own fan base thanks to its colorful graphics, large character sprites, and classic Neo Geo presentation. It's one of the earliest examples of SNK experimenting with beat-em-up genre before titles such as Robo Army and Son Goku expanded the formula. Here's some gameplay tips for Burning Fight. Tip number 1, grab enemies often. Throws deal significant damage and help create breathing room when you're surrounded. Tip 2, use weapons whenever possible. Knives, pipes, and other items can quickly clear groups of enemies. Tip 3, watch your positioning. Many hits come from enemies attacking from slightly above or below your character. Stay aligned before attacking. Tip 4, prioritize dangerous enemies. Some foes charge quickly or attack from a distance. Eliminate them first before dealing with the weaker opponents. Tip 5, don't get greedy. Multiple enemies are nearby, land a short combo and move. Standing still too long usually leads into taking damage. One of the biggest challenges in Burning Fight is crowd control. Surviving isn't just about attacking, it's about controlling where enemies are on the screen. This week's Leaderboard Challenge gives us two very different examples of early Neo Geo gaming. Andro Dunos delivers a classic horizontal shooting action, strategic weapon management, and memorable boss fights. Burning Fight showcases SNK's early attempt at the beat-em-up genre and remains a fun look at arcade gaming in the early days of the Neo Geo. Whether you're chasing a high score in space or cleaning up the streets one gang member at a time, both games offer plenty of opportunities to climb up the Retro Legends arcade leaderboards. Be sure to submit your scores, check out your weekly standings, and remember, Saturday nights just got legit. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to Papa Brad's Gaming, and we'll see you next time on the Retro Legends Arcade Show. Game on, everyone. Get to enter your score.
Oh, I can't hear you, Papa Brad. Still muted.
Check 1 2. Check 1
There
2.
you go.
Check 1 2. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. I don't know what happened with my mic. You can hear me?
I can.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me on the stream? I guess my Fi-Fi mic went out. That's fine. We're going old school. We're going back to a boom arm mic. That's okay. Now I feel like a radio DJ.
There you go. It's good stuff.
So anyway, Johnny Joystick. Now that I got you here,
Yeah.
Johnny Joystick, you're going down. It's time to have an arcade challenge.
Uh-oh. All right.
I see you playing games on your channel, thinking you're all that.
Well,
it's time for us to break out the Atari joysticks and settle this. And I guess what, Johnny?
yeah.
If you can beat old Papa Brad here on his live stream, we're going to play some Atari Centipede from the 7800. If you can beat Papa Brad right here on this live stream, I'm going to give out a gift to a viewer in the chat that caught us live. If you're watching this on replay, I apologize in advance, but if you can beat the master of Atari, I will give the chat an awesome present. Does that sound like something fun you'd like to participate in? Oh my goodness!
Can handle, bro.
I didn't even have to ask.
Oh, you can handle, bro.
The answers. The heat is on. Look out! Look out! Okay, now we're not going to drag this out and make this longer than it needs to be. So what I'm going to do is let me get mine set up. Add the stage. Okay. And we'll play against each other live. Let me turn my sound up on my TV so you can hear it. And we'll start at this. We can both start at the same time. So we'll see who.
Oh, we're going at the same time.
I think that might be fun.
Yeah.
No need to drag it out. Oh wait, that's the wrong TV. Got too much technology in here. Got the wrong remote. I need this one. Normally I turn this off when I'm streaming. Okay, just so we have some sound.
Okay.
Okay. Now it's going to look a little weird. I don't have to turn sideways to play, but let me move this out of the way. You ready to go, Johnny?
I think so. I'm a little
okay. I'm back. Okay, so one player, novice. Are you set to novice?
Oh no, I think mine was on.
I think that's just the default setting.
Oh, geez, it's going.
Okay. I'll put mine on standard. Okay, we have a Atari 7800 Centipede off. Playing against Johnny. Who's gonna win here? We're going with a retro game challenge.
Let's go. Place your bets in the chat.
Playing it on my PlayOn Atari 7800 Plus with a real Atari cartridge. Not that it matters, because you can emulate these games on a toothbrush.
I'm doing so on a Raspberry Pi.
Okay. Just cleared the first wave. Not lost a life yet. Not to make you sweat, Johnny. But I know Johnny's been playing these games on stream. I had to call him out and see what would happen.
Yeah, I like to.
Man, get that guy. Oh, I didn't get him. Uh-oh.
Usually, I have my AI co-host Murray down in the corner in the little TV on Mondays when I stream the games.
Uh-oh. Please. Well, you never know. Every once in a while we might... Uh-oh, I just lost a life. Johnny might be pulling ahead.
Uh-oh.
I'm at 9,800. I can't look. I gotta focus on the game. Stay in the game,
Oh.
Papa.
Lost my first life.
By the way, is this an incredible port of Centipede? I've always liked this version.
This is a good one.
You know, all the 7,800 versions of Centipede were good because they were made by the same people that did Miss Pac-Man in the arcades.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The
General
GCC
Computing
guys.
GCC did these. So these are all good. Like, I don't care which version you play on the old Atari consoles. The Centipede is really good.
I mean, you saw I played the 2600 version on stream a while back, and that got so intense. Like, that was so intense.
It feels like Centipede, even though it's a primitive graphics. But I'm a big-time Atari collector, so... We got some competition heating up here.
I'm in trouble. Oh, no.
My last life. How's Johnny doing? Oh, I got a big point lead. Of course, I was hunting fleas there.
Oh no! Oh, damn. Huh. I'm sorry, Chad. I let you all down. And I let myself down, too.
Let's see, 19,527. What do we got?
16,635.
I'll tell you what, man. It was such a valiant effort. Guess what, Johnny? I'm still gonna let the chat. If you, I'm gonna give out a Neo Geo T-shirt just like I'm wearing. See the Neo Geo T-shirt I'm wearing?
Oh yeah.
Awesome black. It's soft. They have them on Amazon. Let me remove Centipede from the screen. I will send this to you if you win. You just contact, there's a link in my description of this video if you're the winner. Okay? Now for this challenge, Johnny, you're going to have to do something. So make sure you have your phone open to the chat. I'm going to put the chat up on the screen. The first person that answers this question correctly in the chat, Johnny, so have your typing figures ready.
Yeah.
The first person that answers this question correct on our chat that we have on our screen, to make it fair, right? You see the chat up there? First person that answers the question to this picture will get a Neo Geo t-shirt just like Papa Brad's sporting right here. If you want one of these awesome t-shirts, they are available on Amazon. I do have an affiliate link. It helps the channel so I can do giveaways, okay? So here we go. For the picture I'm going to show, you need to tell me, got to get it ready. You need to tell me the name of the monster and the TV show that the monster is on to win. What do they need to tell me, Johnny?
The TV show, the name of the TV show, and the name of the monster.
The name of the TV show and the name of the monster. First person in the chat that answers correctly to this picture will be the winner. And we are off.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Sit right back in the
we need the Jeopardy music.
Yep. I should have got the music to the TV show, but that would have given it away. I made it too easy because they say the name of the TV show.
Oh.
It's not Alf. It's not Alf. Gamesboro and Alf. It is not Alf.
Alpha's a little shorter. Oh, come on, guys.
Are you serious? Come on now. The name of the TV show and the name of the
Boom.
monster.
There
Boom,
we go.
We have an answer. Neo Severa coming in hot with Creature from the Black Lagoon. Cosplaying, and the show is Gilligan's Island. So reach out to me, Neo Severa. We'll send you one of these awesome Neo Geo t-shirts, just like I have on now. We showed the chat. We showed the chat in the on the stream, so you saw it was fair.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And we're going to say goodbye to the Creature. By the way, Ginger or Marianne? Which one? Is it Ginger or Marianne? Which one is your preference? Maybe it's
I gotta
Gilligan.
go with
I don't know.
Marianne.
It is 2026.
I'm a Marianne
maybe
guy.
It's a Creature. More of a Marianne guy?
Ginger was like a little
Too much maintenance. Too high
yeah.
maintenance. Yeah. I hear you. I think I'm with you there. Definitely. If you've not checked out my video on the Saturn Game Changer, the Saroo cart, there's a great mod you can do if you have a Saturn console where you just literally plug the smug in and you can play all the Saturn games. It's really a great mod. Check it out. It's on my channel. A lot of fun. Huge fan of the Saroo card. I just got a 13-inch CRT monitor, which I'll be using for some retro gaming. Let's bring some Sega back. The world always needs a Sega console. Did you know that? Here's the thing, like the Saturn, all the great games,
the facts.
The great games are all Japanese. We never got to see them. Like, as I play through some of these games, I'm in shock and awe of, like, how did Sega botch this so bad? Like, all the best games I never seen. Like, you know, if I would have known the Saturn was this good back in the day, I might have bought one. But
have you
no exposure
seen, like,
to these classics?
Their Japanese mascot, Segata Sanshiro.
Uh-huh.
He's one of like the greatest video game mascots of all time, and like you should check out the commercials that they did in Japan. Like this whole saga with Segata Sanshiro, and he even had a game.
He had his own
in
game?
Japan too. Yeah, it's like a bunch of mini games. It's pretty cool. But like, if only we had that ad campaign here instead of the weird like super 90s stuff that we had.
Everything was extreme, like
where it's like, am I watching like MTV or am I seeing a video game advertisement? Like, yeah, but the Japanese Sega advertising for the Saturn was, oh man, it's so much better than ours. Everybody should check out Sega.
They had Metal Slug on the Saturn, like, and they have like the a lot of the Capcom fighters that were good, and but anyway, if you get a chance, if you're into retro gaming, check out my video on the Saroo. This is a game changer. Like, is 2026, in my opinion, 2026 is the year to get a Saturn. I think this Saturn is going to hold me off until I get that Neo Geo in my hands as far as consoles. You know, I discovered this game Cotton. It's like a Japanese shmup with like a witch on a broom. Just, there's all these great games that I've never experienced on the Sega Saturn. So, pretty cool.
Very cool.
I'm gonna have to check out those commercials, those Japanese Saturn commercials. It sounds like
you will get a massive kick out of them. they are great.
And it's like, you know, and I'm such a dork. The main reason I wanted a Saturn when I first started looking into getting a Saturn again was I knew they had the Time Gal, which is a Laserdisc game that I'm obsessed with. My most successful video on my channel is just a video of Time Gal's death sequences. They're all cut out of the like chained together into a sequence.
Yeah,
that's my #1 video.
Wow.
And that's the thing, you know, I have like 3,000 plus videos. So like people wonder, well, how does Papa Brad do it? He must be buying these views. No, I don't need to buy views because I got 3,000 plus retro gaming videos on YouTube right now. All live.
Actually play the games, make the content and everything.
And here's the thing.
Doing that because you're speaking to like the same 100 people that trying to get them to buy the same shoddy arcade cabinet that doesn't work.
The retro gaming videos are evergreen. Like, I don't have to worry if someone's looking up maybe Centipede or something. They might come across one of my videos, or Dig Dug, or one of these classic games I've covered, and they're just like background views, you know. And
yeah.
But anyway, the Sega Saturn. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned the Saturn because that video is not getting much love. I didn't expect it to do great, but I want to make sure if you want to get the Saroo, it kind of tells you where you can get one, and it kind of shows some of how easy it is. Like I'm always scared to mod stuff to a certain extent. I mean, I built my own arcade, but as far as consoles, I'm always afraid I'm going to break the console. Like a console's like I can build an arcade and I'm not scared. But tearing apart one of these consoles to me has always been a bit scary. So, Old School Gamer says check out Bulk Slash. Yeah, there's so many games. Literally, I probably dropped 10 spots on my pinball tournament this week because I've been obsessed with the Saturn. The Saturn's been pulling me in too
I tell
much.
you've had me like I'm right there on the edge of getting the
I'm
Saroo.
telling you, I would highly recommend.
I need to be like responsible for a little longer, but
the Saroo card is
right
phenomenal. The Saroo card is phenomenal, and
the
here's
fact
the
that
thing.
I can just plug it in to
You just
the
literally plug it
cartridge
in.
slot,
And
it
what they
goes.
just did,
Awesome.
the other reason why I think now is the golden age time is because they finally got all the timings right. There was an update with the firmware.
Okay.
It uses I think it uses FPGA because it says FPGA on the cartridge when it boots up. But they actually have the timings. They perfected the timings. They had figured out a way to perfect all the timings. So now your emulation is really, it is a drive emulator, but the emulation is really running the best it's ever run. So,
Nice.
But I don't know what came before it. I just know the good state it's in now. Maybe it wasn't that great in the past, but right now it's fantastic. So, yeah. So anyway, that was just my information about the Saroo cart. We did the Atari game battle, and then the last game in our tournament is going to be for this week. It's going to be Crazy Climber. Have you ever played Crazy Climber? It's an arcade game. It uses 2 joysticks.
I don't think I have. I think I'm mixing it up with a different game because like the dual joysticks does not sound familiar with it. So I don't think I have.
Well, basically the concept of the game is you have to climb a building and make it to the top where there's a helicopter that flies you away. I know you like elevator action. This kind of has an elevator action groove to it because it is the same kind of graphics, but instead of you're basically climbing the building. And this is our arcade game for the week. It uses 2 joysticks. Now, an easy way to emulate this is they do have this on the PS4. I know they have it. Arcade Archives has it where you can get it on a console, so you can use like a dual thumb, like a PlayStation if you want. I use an arcade, but this is probably one of the great 2 joystick games, and this is from 1980. So we're going to check out a quick video on strategy for this week's game, Crazy Climber. Is there anything else you want to say? I think I'll use that to close out the show. We went kind of long tonight. We're already at 2 hours.
Yeah, thanks everybody for sticking around. Well, I'm just sorry we didn't get to talk about the iconic a little more and the crazy issues people have been having and some of the heat that Rexer video brought.
Yeah, I would say check out the Rexer show for that information.
I can't believe that they're allowed to say, about the online. I just want to say, real quick, I was kind of skeptical about it because it had a pie in it. I'm like, why would you pay this much for it? Like when it was announced.
I don't understand too because
then there were all the delays, right? And that was the whole, okay, well, I guess people love Street Fighter, so, whatever. And then it came out. I'm like, okay, maybe the build quality on this is actually pretty good. Like maybe I was wrong. And then I find out, oh, okay, well, here's how they did the emulation. Here's where the pot. Now there's all these other issues and no online, which they're still promoting it as it having. And sure, maybe they eventually get a software update out, but you can't just say that and promise it and then sell it and not have it and
then just there's just so much drama. I mean, I try to stay out of the drama as much as I can, but there's just so much drama with all of it, and it comes down to people giving that 10 out of 10 with no online, a screen that changes colors, pink and green, and sound that randomly goes off. And I've had pies. I have a Raspberry Pi I can game on whenever I want to. I've never had any problems with it, honestly. It's like, how do you mess this up? A Pi is a pretty stable build platform, in my opinion.
And that's the thing that nobody's talking about that I really want people to be aware of, like, especially in like the home arcade community, right? Like, we get people that want to buy this stuff just to mod it. Like, I'm going to spend another, like spend $800 on this, $900, and then spend another $500 getting stuff, like planning on modding it. It's like, you could just build your own exactly the way you want it, like arcade accurate, for less than that. It would take you more time, sure, but like, I don't think you should go into these purchases, which are not insignificant, with the intent of modding it. Like, maybe down the road, like, I have an MVSX, and I'm down the road, I am going to replace the joysticks in it, but not now.
Yeah, there is a high-low hack for that MVSX, especially.
And I held off on that, and I put that in, and it's just so I could play Neo Turf Masters on.
Yeah. So once you get that high-low hack, I never had an MVSX. I've always heard good things about it, though, but I've never had one. I would love to get one, but I really like it. One.
And but like, I didn't buy it with the intent of doing that. I wanted to make sure that it was actually good as is. And people were like, oh, well, if I get this, I'll just get a pie and just, like put a new card in. And of course they've made it so that's incredibly hard to do. And nobody's really talked about that, because it's like, you think the licensor is going to want you to just be able to like throw whatever in and do with it? Like, that's going to make it hard. They're going to want you to have the product that they wanted. So just like, you got to be careful with these things, and especially with like, a few of the people that like to give information about it that isn't necessarily credible, and not naming names, but you can watch the Rexer video for that.
Well, anyway, it's been great having you on. Definitely check out the Joystick Johnny channel. Subscribe. I'm going to close this out with our how to play Crazy Climber video into my intro. But thank you so much for coming on, Johnny. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me, Papa Brad. Great
Open
being
door
here.
on the Retro Legends Arcade anytime you want to come on.
Oh, I'll, anytime you want me. I'm here. Thank you for having me. Thank you, chat, for being here. Great seeing you, hanging out with y'all. Really appreciate it.
Okay, and let's learn all about Crazy Climber. Okay, here we go. Let's give this a shot. Coming in cold. We're recording?
Go for it.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Playing this on the Vipercade. Crazy Climber, classic 80s arcade game. There's definitely a zen and a rhythm you get into with the climbing.
Go for it.
Hold both sticks down and the flower pots will bounce off your head. You gotta make sure you have a perfect grip on the window. To have a shot at getting a decent score, I gotta get through the first building, usually with no lives lost, and usually get through the bottom part of the second building, which is really hard. And once you get past that, it gets easier. You gotta get used to the climbing mechanic. Ooh, well, they didn't hit the same time. Now, if both of those pots would have hit me at the same time, I would have fell. You can take one pot easily at a time as long as both joysticks are pressed all the way down. And you have this grip on the window. So, the first level, you don't need to worry too much about the flower pots, except for if they do two at once. Then you've got to do better move or you're going to get pushed off. And in general, it's not that bad. This is weird. And you're through this section. I'm glad to be through that section. And just like I might be able to get through the first building with no lives. I'm almost there. Be careful for double flower pots. The double flower pots will get you. So don't think you're always safe. But this grip and holding both sticks down will deflect most flower pots. As a last ditch on the next level, when the dumbbells are flying down, I will do the same grab and pray that I can hold on. It seems to work sometimes and not work sometimes. There you go, you reach for the helicopter. You just saw me run the entire first building without losing a life. This is where it gets really tough. This is one of the tough. This beginning of the second level is super hard. Mainly you'll see. Oh man, I'm stuck. I can't maneuver. Oh, look at that. I got past it. Now look, if you're holding like this, it looks like the dumbbells can come by you. Let me see. Yeah. So with a wide stance, you might be all right. Let me see. Yeah. Check that out. I can't remember. Now this, once again, I'm holding both buttons. I'm holding both sticks down. And they're pitching stuff at me now. Oh! It's okay, I got through the worst part. So there you go, the Rexer show one of the strategy. There you go, I just showed you. Just got the extra man. We're climbing. There is a zen to this. I actually play best when I have two Sandwa sticks, but I'm not playing too bad. If I can get through this section. Nope, it got me. Probably needed that other grip, that wider grip. If you saw how it worked, Stork is fairly slow moving. Second building, let's run it. If I can get two buildings, I'll be glad. It's good enough for me. This section, you just have to go through it fast. Of course, all the windows are going to close for me. Pretty much a worst case scenario. Let's go. And I got through the electricity, just like that. If you can get the balloon, you can get going up real fast. Oh! I'm not going to risk it for the biscuit. If you get the balloon, you get a nice little ride close to the top. Every once in a while I get it. It is hard to get the biscuit. It is hard to get the balloon though. Every once in a while it happens. Pretty much have to be in the right spot, the right place. Okay? There you go. I just showed you pretty much two buildings run back to back. 69,650. My high score is 83,150. I do find that I do get into a zen, but I have to play a lot. There you go, you saw it went past me. I'm holding both sticks down, and I have the dumbbells pass me again. Both sticks down. I don't know why sometimes it pulls you off. See, it just went through. Okay, so if you're holding both sticks down, Rexer, it looks like you can get through it. Now, I've just played this so much, I probably do it naturally from playing so much, but that's what I'm doing. My secret would be hold both sticks down. Get that maximum grip onto your ledge or your window. At first I thought that only this certain stance would work, but it looks like either stance works. Oh, as long as you have both sticks down while the object passes by you. 78,000, 79,000. Hard section. I'm a rock and roll. Hold it. Oh, and it got me. It got me. Well, there you go. There you go. Pretty good score. And some strategy for the game Crazy Climber. I hope this helps. It's a fantastic arcade game. Give it a shot. I love it. I wonder if I could put Papa Brad. I've never tried. Can I put a long name in here? I've always just put my initials. Let's see. Nope, it's 3 letters. But there you go. Quick little strategy. Crazy Climber, fantastic game. Give it a shot. On the Retro Legends Arcade. I'll put a link in the description of this video. If you want to join us on the leaderboards, it's a fantastic classic 80s arcade. Thanks for watching. Anyway, that's all I got, Johnny.
I think you did great.
Okay, man. Once again, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And the gameplay always clears them out, Johnny. We're done. We went from 35 to 12, but you know, it's good if people want to play the game. Strategy videos always are good. But thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week on the Retro Legends Arcade.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Papa Brad.
Well, Papa Brad's a game man. He's got passion in his soul. From pinball tables to Atari, he's always in control. He's a master of retro gaming, the old school style's his thing. With every flick of the joystick, you can hear the twang ting. Stay legit, Papa Brad, keep the high school living. From the classic arcades to the AtGames pinball board. With the Atari 2600, your love for games will never quit. Stay true yourself, Papa Brad, and always stay legit. He's a lover of the classics, the sound of pixelated beats. Late nights at the arcade with every game defeat. But he'll keep on pushing till he's reached that final stage. Papa Brad's the gaming legend. His passion never fades. Stay legit, Papa Brad, keep the high school rolling. From the classic arcades to the AtGames pinball board. With the Atari 2600, your love for games will never quit. Stay true yourself, Papa Brad, and always stay legit.